Today we're going to be transforming a figure on the coordinate plane by reflections. In our previous video, we were translating a figure on the coordinate plane, and translation is just a slide transformation. Today we're going to be doing a reflection, which is a flip transformation. That means if I have an image, I'm either going to reflect it across a vertical line like this, or a horizontal line like this. Okay? We call that line that we're going to use to reflect the line of reflection. And we do have types of reflections that we're going to be using. We're only going to be using horizontal and vertical lines of reflection. Okay? For horizontal lines, that can either be the x-axis or it can be the line y is equal to a number. For vertical lines, we're going to be going across the y-axis, or we also have lines where x is equal to a number. These are also vertical lines. So let's get started. We're going to be reflecting across x is equal to 1. So first, you need to make a decision. You need to decide, is this going to be a horizontal line? Is this going to be a vertical line? Well, we know that this line means that we're going to be crossing the x-axis, at 1. So we're going to go to our coordinate plane, and we're going to be looking for where x is equal to 1. And that is, I'm going to zoom down here, x-axis is this axis here, and we're looking for where it is 1. So it's right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw that line of reflection going through x equals 1. Okay. Now this is the line we're going to use, so everything that is on the left should reflect on the right, and everything that is on the right should reflect on the left. Okay. And the way we do that is we start looking at our points. We're going to go in alphabetical order, so I'm going to go H, I, J, K. And let's take a look at H. H is 3 spaces to the left of the line of reflection. So in order to reflect it to the other side, we must move 3 spaces to the right of that line of reflection. And we're going to call that H prime. Okay. For I, we count. We are 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away. That means we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to the right. And this is I prime. For J, we are 1 space to the left from the line of reflection, so we are going to now move in the opposite direction to the right 1 space. This becomes J prime. And now K is on the right-hand side this time, and it is 2 spaces away. So I must go in the opposite direction to the left 2 spaces to find K prime. Okay. Once you have all of your coordinates reflected, we're going to now use a straight edge and draw our image or our new shape. Okay. And here we go. And now what we're going to do is write the coordinates for our image. So I'm going to again start with H prime, then I prime, J prime, and then K prime. Always start at the origin. So always look for where the x and the y axis cross. And from here, you have to find out how do we get to our coordinate. So how do we get from here to H prime? From here, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to the right and 1 up. So that's where we have 4 spaces. That means 4 to the right and 1 up. Okay. Now for I prime, same thing. We start at the origin and we're going to count always left, right, and then up, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3 up. That puts us at 5, 3. Okay. J prime, I'm going to start at the origin. Again, 1, 2 to the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. That puts us at 2, 4. And then K prime from the origin, which is right here, we are going now 1 to the left, and we're staying there. So that means 1 to the left means -1, and to stay there means we're going to use a 0. Okay? So again, always start finding your ordered pair from the origin, never from the line of reflection, unless your line of reflection is the x-axis or the y-axis. Okay? Okay, let's try another one. For the next one, we have a reflection across y is equal to 1. So going back to your notes, you get to decide if this will be a horizontal line or a vertical line. And it turns out it's going to be, it looks like it's here, y is equal to a number. So it's going to end up being a horizontal line. Okay? And this horizontal line is going to cross the y-axis at 1. So we write down crosses the y-axis at 1. Okay, so let's go look for where y is 1. And I'm going to go to the y-axis, and I know this is 0, so right here is 1. So let's draw our line of reflection. And now we're going to reflect all of our coordinates. And I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So F, G, and then H. F is 1 space away from the line of reflection, so I'm going to draw it in the opposite direction. Call it F prime. G is actually on the line of reflection, which means that my reflection is going to be in the same spot, making it G prime. And then H is 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away from the line of reflection, so I must travel in the opposite direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this becomes H prime. Okay. Now you're going to join all of the new points together to draw your shape. And I got my beautiful reflection here. Okay. And we're going to write the coordinates of each of these points. Okay. So starting with F prime, look for your origin. And from here, it looks like I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 to the left and 2 up. 3 to the left and 2 up is -3, 2. For G prime, the origin is here, and I have to travel 1, 2 to the right, and 1 up. So 2 to the right, 1 up. And then for H prime, from the origin, I'm going to travel 1 to the left, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up. 1 to the left, and up 5. Okay? So that's how we write our coordinates. Okay, let's try a few more. Okay, this time we are reflecting across the y-axis. So you have to look at the axes, which ones are labeled, and you're looking for the one that is labeled y. Okay, that's going to be our line of reflection. So I'm going to darken that y-axis here. And now we're going to count how far away our pre-image points are from that line of reflection. And I'm going to go in alphabetical order again. So R, S, T. So R is 2 spaces away, so 2 to the right. So I must go 2 to the left. This is now R prime. S is 1, 2, 3 spaces away. That means I got to go 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left to get S prime. And T, from that line of reflection, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces to the right. That means I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces to the left. And that becomes my T prime. Okay? So I'm going to now get a straight edge, draw my figure, and then write the coordinates of my new image. Okay? Alphabetical order, R prime, S prime, and then T prime. So I'm going to go to R prime. From the origin, which happens to be here, I'm going 2 to the left and staying there. That means -2, and I'm staying there. That means a 0. S prime from the origin, 1, 2, 3 to the left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. 3 to the left, and 5 up. And T prime from the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 to the left and 4 up. Right? Okay. This one is asking us to do a reflection across the x-axis. That means you need to look for the axis that has the letter X, which happens to be this one. So we're going to darken the x-axis, okay, with our purple. And now we're going to reflect each point. I'm going to go in alphabetical order again. So this is K, L, M, N. So K is 1, 2, 3 spaces away from the line of reflection. So I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3 spaces away as well. K prime. L is 2 spaces up. So the opposite of that is 2 spaces down. And that becomes my L prime. M is 1 space up. So to reflect it, it goes 1 space down. This becomes M prime. And N is 2 spaces down, which means the opposite is 2 spaces up. And we're going to label it N prime. Okay. So label your points and let's connect. So we're going to go K, L, M, N, and close it up. Okay. Now let's write the coordinates. Starting with K prime, always go to the origin, and it looks like I'm going to go left 1 and up 3. Left 1, up 3. For L prime, from the origin, I'm going to go 1 to the right and 2 down. 1 to the right and 2 down. M prime, from the origin, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right and 1 down. 3 to the right and 1 down. And for N prime, from the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and 2 up. 4 to the right and 2 up. Okay? Right? Next one, the transformation has already been done for you. So the question is, well, what type of transformation took place? Now, because we are dealing with reflections, we know that we are reflecting. So the question is, where are we reflecting? Are we reflecting across the x-axis or the y-axis? Or are we reflecting on a specific line? Okay. So as you can see, the y-axis is here, and it doesn't look like those shapes got reflected across the y-axis. The x-axis is here, and it really doesn't look like this is a nice reflection going from x-axis. But I noticed that J and J prime are in the same spot. And we had another example where one point and its image was on the same line, and that meant that that was the line of reflection. So if I were to cut this straight through right here, I can see how everything is reflected along that line. So I'm going to draw that line through these shapes to show that this is the line of reflection. Now we actually have to tell what line that is, okay? So this is a reflection, and we have to see across what, okay? And what line is it? Well, it looks like I am crossing the y-axis, so that gives me a clue that it's going to be y equals something. And now I need to figure out, well, what is the something? So I know this is 0, so this is where y is 1. So we found the transformation that took place, which was a reflection. Okay? So to kind of put it all together, this is all you. You're doing a reflection across y is equal to -2. Find y is equal to -2. Draw your line of reflection. Reflect shape C, D, E, F. And then write the coordinates on the left. Pause the video so that you can do it on your own, and then we'll check back in just a bit to see if you did it right. Okay, so y is equal to -2. I'm looking for the y-axis, and I'm looking to where it is -2, and it turns out it's here. So this here is my line of reflection. Now I'm going to reflect all of the points, so I'm going to do this fairly quickly. This is C, this will be C prime. D is 1, 2, 3 spaces away, so I go 1, 2, 3 spaces away would be here. I'm sorry, right here. Then E is 1 space away. This is E prime. And then F is 2 spaces away, which would be F prime. Okay, so let's connect everything. So C, D, E, F, and close it up here. And now the coordinates. So from the origin, which is up here, it gets really tricky now. I'm going to go to C prime, 1 left and 1, 2, 3 down. So 1 left and 3 down. D prime is 1 left and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. 1 left, 5 down. E prime from the origin, 1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3 down. So 3 to the right and 3 down. And then F prime from the origin, 1, 2 to the right and stay there. 2 to the right and stay there. I hope this clarified how to reflect a figure along the coordinate plane.